This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Hi friends, good morning. In this Business Intelligence Master Program. So in today's session, we are going to talk about copy behavior in Azure Data Factory. Okay. So what are the different ways you can able to copy the data? So we have discussed, right? So how you can copy files, how you can copy all the files in a folder. But let's imagine you have a multiple folders. You have a multiple folders in your storage. So now you want to copy all those multiple folders. How you can able to copy? Okay. So we will see the different ways to copy the data when you have a different scenarios. All the scenarios we will try to cover. The scenarios I will cover. Then I will tell you how this copy behavior will work. So copy behavior will work in a three different ways. I will just tell you what are those three different ways. Then I will talk about the file path type. Okay. So what is file path type? We will discuss data flow diagram, estimations, prerequisite. You know, data flow diagram means it will tell you how you can copy data from source to destination. Estimations will talk about how many linker services data sets you need. Prerequisite will talk about what are the things you need to understand to the lab. Then we are going to talk about required resources. Okay. So with respect to demo, we will see how you can create storage account, upload file into storage account, create Azure Data Factory V2. Okay. Then we will create the linker service for blobs using the integration runtime. We talked about integration runtime. Can somebody tell me what is integration runtime? This is a very important interview question. People will ask what is integration runtime and what are the different types of integration runtimes we have. Please tell me what is integration runtime and what are the different types of integration runtimes we have.
Actually, integration runtime means if we moving the data from blob to blob, the data which we are doing to copy activity or the delete activity, nothing that
First, what
that
is integration runtime? Integration runtime is a compute infrastructure that we need to move the data, okay, for data movement or for data transformation, for dispatching the job. We need some compute infrastructure. That's why we are using the integration runtime. So, what are the different types of integration runtimes we have? We have total three types of integration runtimes. We have one of the integration runtime, Azure integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime, and SSIS integration runtime. We discussed about all these things. Okay. But in our today example, what type of IR we are going to use? We are going to use Azure integration runtime in our today session. Okay. Next. So we will talk about creating multiple data sets, how we can create data sets. Then we will talk about creating pipeline, debug pipeline, run pipeline. What is the difference between debug pipeline and run pipeline?
Debug pipeline will run automatically.
Partial pipeline can execute in debug.
without publishing we can run the pipeline. That is called debugger.
Very
We can
good.
execute the partial debug pipeline.
Without saving our changes, we can able to run a pipeline. That is nothing but a debug pipeline. What else you can do in debug pipeline? There is a one more important point that we discussed.
Partial execution.
Partial execution of the pipeline. Very good. Partial execution of the pipeline.
That's in the class.
Hello.
అబ్బాయి మంచి కంపెనీలకే పంపించరంటమ్మా ఇంటర్వ్యూ.
Okay, fine. Let's move on. Run pipeline, monitor pipeline. So we are going to talk about how you can monitor your pipeline. Once you run your pipeline, we are going to monitor this pipeline. So we are going to talk about how you can monitor the pipeline. Okay, fine. Let's start with scenarios. The different scenarios that we are going to cover is, okay. So first scenario, you can see read files from root folder and subfolders and copy files with the same structure as source. Okay, so what it means, we have a root folder. Main folder is something Cloud Pandit. Inside that we have a data, you have actual files, then you have a subfolder. Subfolders means, let's say you have sales data, transaction data. So for that we have created the different subfolders. Cloud Pandit is the main organization. Under that organization, sales is a one folder. Under that you have a transaction is a one folder. Inside this folder you will have a actual data. Okay, actual data. Now when I'm copying this data into some other storage or some other store, maybe in same storage, what I wanted to do, I want to maintain same structure with the same names and same structure. I want to copy all this data into the storage. Okay, how we can store, we will discuss. Then see example. So you have a Cloud Pandit input. Inside Cloud Pandit input, you have a cust.csv, and then you have a subfolder one. Inside subfolder one, you have a emp.csv. Okay, so this is my structure. This is my structure of the data, how I have organized. Cloud Pandit input is a container. Inside container, I have a cust.csv file. Inside that, see, Cloud Pandit input is a main folder. Inside that, I have uploaded a cust.csv. In same level, I have created a folder called subfolder. Inside subfolder, I have a file called emp.csv. Inside subfolder one, I have a file called emp.csv. Okay. Now, when I copy this data, I want to copy in the same structure. When I copy this data into my destination, I want to copy in a same structure, same way I need to move it into my another storage. Let's say I have created a two storages. This is storage one, this is storage two. When I am copying this entire data from storage one to the storage two, I need to get the same structure. Okay, this is one of the behavior that you can able to achieve. Okay, next. Read files from root folder and subfolder, copy files to root folder. What it means, you see, you have Cloud Pandit input cust.csv subfolder one emp.csv. When I copy, I need to get like this. Okay, what I'm doing here, you see, cust.csv, you have that file you are keeping under Cloud Pandit output. Next, you have emp.csv file. That particular file you are bringing into data underscore xyz.csv. What it means is, when you are bringing the subfolder files and main folder files, all the file names will be renamed. Can you guess it and tell me why they are renaming these files when we are moving the subfolder files and main folder files into a single folder? Example, in subfolder one you have a cust.csv. In main folder you have a cust.csv. If you load these files as is here, files will be overridden. Files will overwrite, isn't it? So that's why what we need to do, we need to rename all the files. When you are bringing the files from different folders and putting them in a single folder, you need to rename those files. Okay, example is cust.csv we have. When you copy here, you have a cust.csv, but emp.csv we have. Instead of emp, let's say here also we have cust.csv. If you bring this cust.csv file here, what will happen? Already cust.csv file you have, you are trying to load one more cust.csv, it will throw error, isn't it? So it will not throw any error. What it do, it can overwrite that particular file. To avoid this, what we need to do, we need to rename all these files when we are copying into a destination. Destination folder is same. So the very simple example is, if you go to any folder in your system, can you keep two different files with the same name? Okay, let's say cust.csv. Can you keep two files in the same folder? Two files which are having same name, can you keep those two files in the same folder in your system?
No, it can ask the.
Yes. So what it will do, by default, it will try to say, okay, cust_copy.csv, copy2.csv, copy3.csv, it will say. That's why safer side, I'm just renaming this file, then I'm renaming this file. How this renaming will happen is, your ADF will do that renaming automatically. Okay, next.
Here,
Read
Malia, here, if we are changing the name, we may get the duplicates, right? Inside the data, it is inside the data. Here, cust.csv is there in your root folder. Subfolder also cust.csv is there. When we are moving to the Cloud Pandit output, we are changing the name, but the inside the data is same. we may get the duplicate, right?
So
Inside
when
the
you
data.
get duplicate, okay, so good question, but that is first thing that you need to understand. If you think you have already duplicate data, then why you are copying like this? You just copy custom CSV. You just copy
Okay.
custom CSV. This copy behavior talks about if you have a different files in a different levels. Example, cush.csv we have directly under Cloud Pandit input container, and emp.csv we have in a subfolder one. So inside this we have another folder. In that folder we have emp.csv. Now I want to bring all the files into a single folder. Then we are going to use a copy behavior to do that. Okay, we have a different copy behaviors. We are going to use those copy behaviors to bring all these files to a single folder. Next, read files from root folder and subfolder and merge two files data. See now, example, here we have a cush.csv, emp.csv. Okay. So when I just bring those things, what I'm getting? I'm just getting a single file. I'm getting a single file, meaning what you are doing, you are just bringing these files and merging the data. You are just appending this file data to this file and you are loading into your output. Okay, these are the three different copy behaviors you can able to achieve it. Okay, now let's talk about, see, read files from root folder, copy files with the same structure as source. See, this is also similar, isn't it? So but this time what happened, you have cush.csv, some spelling mistake, cush.csv, cust1.csv, subfolder 1, emp.csv. So now what you are doing, see here, what change you have seen here?
Only root folder data.
Only 2 files are copied.
What are those files? What are those 2 files? So Kiran is
Those
asking,
are the
right?
root file. Those are the whatever's there in a root file. Only that data is copied.
Yeah, Kiran. So you were talking about here you have CSV, here you have CSV, duplicate data I'm getting. So in those scenarios, if you want to fetch only this root data, you can able to fetch it something like this. Okay. So I'll talk about those things next. Read files from root folder, copy files to see. So what I'm doing here? What I'm doing here? Here, if you look at here
we are changing the name.
Here I'm just renaming the files.
Yes.
Okay, here I'm renaming the files. Okay. Next, read file from root folder and merge 2 files data. So you have something like this. So what I'm doing, I'm just merging the root folder data. I'm just merging the root files data, not all the files. Okay, I'm just merging the root files data. Next. Okay, now you see, I talked about there are 3 different copy behaviors, right? One is preserved hierarchy. Preserved hierarchy means when you are copying data from source to target, it will copy like copy paste. It will not change any structure. It will just keep the structure as it is. It will keep the structure as it is. Okay, now see. Preserved hierarchy means folder 1, file 1, file 2, subfolder 1, so file 3, file 4, file 5. Like this you'll get. Okay, clear? This is clear? You understood this? Preserved hierarchy means
Yes.
you are basically bringing data from folder 1 and folder 2 and loading into the destination. Arun, please be in mute. Please be in mute. Okay, see now, preserved hierarchy you understood. All the files from root folder, all the files from the subfolder, it is picking and loading into the destination as it is. Flatten hierarchy means, so flatten hierarchy means what it is doing, it is just bringing files from folder 1, subfolder and keeping in a one level, meaning file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, everything it is keeping in a output folder. Okay, auto generated name for file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. As we discussed, when it is moving the files into my output folder, it is going to generate all these files. It is going to generate all these file names. Okay, so it will not keep this file name as is. It will generate the new name for all these files. Why it is doing that? Just to avoid the duplication of the names. Just to avoid the duplication of the names, it is going to rename. Next, merge files. Merge files means file 1, file 2, file 3. So all these 3 files, it is going to merge it and give a single file. Okay. Now my question is, I want to get only file 1 and file 2. I want to get here also file 1 and file 2. Here also I want to get only file 1 and file 2. I want to merge it. So for that, so you see one more option, recursive. So here I'm using true, true, true. If you use true, 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 recursive means it will go and search the data in all the subfolders. But if you set it as a false, recursive, if you set it as a false in preserved hierarchy, so you are going to get a file 1 and file 2. In flattened hierarchy also you are going to get a file 1 and file 2, but here the names are auto generated names for file 1 and file 2 you get. Next, it's a merged file. Merged file means here you are going to merge the file 1 and file 2 and you will get the single file in your output. You will get the single file in your output. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Malaya, what is it?
Tell me on.
What is recursive? Yeah.
What? Tell me, Anand.
What
What's your question?
Yeah, what is recursive?
A recursive means it is going to search in all the subfolders. Okay, it is going to search in all the subfolders. If you make recursive is false, it is going to just pick only the root folder. Recursive means go and search entire world. If recursive is false means only search in your own place. Okay, only at high level folder 1 only it will search if you turn off this recursive.
Okay.
Fine. Next. So copy behavior. See, defines the copy behavior when the source is files from a file-based data stores. So this particular copy behavior will only work for the file-based data stores. Example, for blob storage, data lake storage Gen 1, data lake storage Gen 2. For these storages, this copy behavior will work. Payload values are preserved hierarchy. So the default hierarchy, okay, the default copy behavior is preserved hierarchy. What preserved hierarchy will do? Preserved hierarchy will load this particular folder structure as is into your destination. Okay, preserves the file hierarchy in the target folder. The relative path of the source file to source folder is identical to the relative path of the target file to target folder. What it means, source files and source folders, it will keep exactly same in your destination side also. Flatten hierarchy, all files from the source folder are in the first level of the target folder. We know, right? So in source folder, even if you have a subfolder, all those files it will bring it into the first level of the target folder. The target files have a auto-generated names in flattened hierarchy. So target files will have a auto-generated names, new names. Merge files. Merged all the files from the source folder to one file if the file name is specified. Okay, the merged file name is specified name. Otherwise, it's an auto-generated file name. So after merging 2 or 3 files, what is the name you want to give? That name you can able to give. But if you don't want to give name, so automatically ADF will generate the new name for the merged files. Okay, next. File path type. To copy all files under a folder, specify folder path only. To copy all files under a folder, specify folder path only. Remember, okay? To copy a single file with a given name, to copy a single file with a given name, specify folder path with file name. These things we have done already, we have not done. We already done all these things, isn't it? So to copy all files under a folder, specify folder path only. Next file path, what we have done? To copy all the files in a folder, what we have done, friends? We have used something called wildcard, star we have used star. Okay, in the same way, to copy a single file with a given name, specify folder path and file name. To just get the single file, you need to specify the folder name and the file name, in which folder what file to pick. Next, to copy a subset of files under a folder, specify folder path with a file name with wildcard filter. Let's say you have a folder, in that folder you have all JSON and CSV files. I want to get the only CSV subset. Okay, that is the CSV subset, right? So basically we have JSON and CSV. You are taking only CSV files. Okay, CSV is a subset in that particular folder. How you will get only CSV file? Star.csv. How you will get JSON? Star.json. Next, for filter, allowed wildcards are star. Matches 0 or more character. Example, file name. Star.csv means all the files which are a CSV files you want to take. Simply if you put star, doesn't matter type or whatever, you are picking all the files. Question mark. Matches 0 or single character. Example, file name. So question ust.txt. Okay, it can be, file can be aust.txt, bust.txt, cust.txt, dust.txt, eust.txt, fust.txt. Okay, anything. This question mark place, you can have anything. Okay, you can have anything. If the matched character is, suppose C is there here, it will pick, because the remaining things are matching. This question mark place can be anything. Okay, you are going to pick that kind of a files. Next, CSV file overview. So all these things we discussed. CSV files, you can have a comma separated or pipe separated. JSON files also we discussed. We have a key value files. Okay, next, copy data from blob to blob. You know, blob storage we have. In blob storage we are going to create some input container. In that we have CSV files. I want to move it into the output container. Then what we need to do? We need to create a linked service. Then we need to create input data set. Use the copy activity to copy data. Then you create output data set, two different ways to load this data. Then we need to create the linked service for our target. Once you execute this data will be loaded into target output folder. Who is going to do all these things? Azure integration runtime. Who will manage all these things? Azure Data Factory is going to manage all these things. Okay. As of now, anybody is having any questions?
Normally, yeah.
Okay, then thank you. Let's move on. Estimations. So I'm going to use the two different storages. How many linked services I need?
Storage we need to create one.
Service.
Two linked services.
Two linked services. As of now, just imagine we needed two linked services. Next. So for each storage, one linked service is required in ADF. How many data sets I need to copy data from? So storage 1 input container to the storage 2 output container. How many data sets I need?
Only one.
One for input and one for output.
Two we need. Okay, so depends on reference points, we need to create data sets. So we know we need two data sets. Okay, how many activities we are going to use? Only copy activities required to copy data. How many pipelines we will use? Only one pipeline. What type of IR we need to use to copy data from blob to blob?
Azure runtime.
Azure integration runtime.
Okay.
Integration runtime.
IR is nothing but an integration runtime. Okay, good. Next, prerequisite. So we need to understand what is storage account. We already know. What is data factory? We know. What is integration runtime and types? We discussed. What is linked service, data set, activity, and pipeline? So we discussed about all these things in detail, isn't it? Let's go to the required resources. I need only storage account and data factory V2. I'll just go and create those two and let's try to do the lab. Okay, fine. Let me just go to the portal. Here, let me open portal.azure.com. I hope everybody's created the Azure account. How many of you created Azure account, friends? Do not create a
Yes, Malaya created.
Okay. Anybody still is not having Azure account? How many of you is not having Azure account still? At least ping in chat window, friends. Whoever don't have Azure account still, please ping in chat window. Okay, thank you. I hope everybody's created, right? So you need to efficiently use this particular Azure account. Okay, fine. Let's say, so I am here. Let me create the data factory first. Let's click on data factory. Let's click add to create the data factory. Okay, fine. Let's create a new resource group. So subscription resource group is this. I'm just saying Cloud Pandit BI master program. So click OK. So region we know east to west. I'm just giving the my data factory name. I'll say area V2 and 0127. Okay, V2. We are using version 2 data factory, right? Just click Git configuration. I'll just configure it later. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay, that's fine. Now it is going to deploy. Meanwhile, let me just go to portal again and create data lake storage. Oh, sorry, blob storage. I will create. Click on storage account. Click add to create the storage account. Resource group is this. Storage account name, you can give any name, right? So Cloud Pandit blob store. Cloud Pandit blob store is taken. Let's say Cloud Pandit blob store 0127. Let's try to give the number. Blob store. I'm just removing the E. Okay, store. We know, so we don't need to provide anything else. Just click review the state. Click create. So I just created one storage, but what else we need? We need to have a one more storage. Let's open a portal.azure.com and let me create one more storage account. Our previous session I went little bit fast. Please go through the recording multiple times. If you have any question, let me know. Okay. So let's click on storage account once again. Let's click add to create the storage account once again. So I'm just selecting the same resource group which we have created. And storage account name, I'll say this is Cloud Pandit blob store 2. Okay, we have created store and it's a store 2. Just click press create. Create. So remaining things you know anyhow, remaining things you already know. And just go to the storage account 1. Okay, storage account 1 is ready. Just click go to resource. We are here. Click on container. Click container. So here you need to give the container name. Okay, I will say Cloud Pandit. Okay, I'm just saying Cloud Pandit. Click create. Inside Cloud Pandit, I'll just upload some data. Okay, I'll just upload some data. But before I upload the data, let me show you what data I'm going to upload. AMA separated. This is cust1.csv. Okay, these are some credit card information I have. Let's go to like cust2.csv. Okay, this is not a valid data for me. is not valid data. This is not valid data. Again, go to results.csv. We have some data. Okay. Now what I will do, this results.csv and cust1.csv, I will just keep it in a two different folders. We'll see how it will work. Okay. Next, one more thing that we need to do. Let me just check results1.csv as well. Yeah, this is also credit card data. So I'll just take results.csv, results1.csv, cust1.csv. Okay, these three files. Now come here and look at. So from here you need to observe carefully. This is a completely new session for us. See, this is a container kind of a folder. Go inside folder. I want to upload the data. Let's upload some data. Create it. So desktop, go to cloud datasets, comma separated files. So I'll just upload the I'll upload results.csv and the results1.csv. These two files I am uploading. Okay, let's upload these two. Okay, uploaded. Now I want to upload one more file, but I want to upload under some subfolder, that is cust1.csv. I'm uploading, but this particular data I need to upload into a subfolder. Okay, upload to folder. This I can say Cloud Pandit. You can say BI data. BI data. Just upload. Okay. BI data. Just upload. Okay. Fine, friends. So BI data, you just upload it, isn't it? BI data, results.csv, results1.csv. Go inside BI data folder. We have a cust1.csv. Now my first goal is I want to take this entire structure, results.csv, results1.csv, big data folder, sorry, BI data folder, inside BI data folder, cust1.csv file. So this entire structure as is, I want to load it into my storage account 2. Okay, in the storage account 2. Okay, so even if you want to create a container, you can just create the container. Otherwise, you can create container directly from the Azure Data Factory, isn't it? So you no need to create the container. You can create the container from the Azure Data Factory. For easy understanding, let me create the container. You can say Cloud Pandit output. I'll say Cloud Pandit output. Create. Inside this, I should be able to see results.csv, results1.csv, BI data folder. Inside BI data folder, I should see the cust1.csv file. So exactly same way I need to copy the data. Okay. For that, come to data factory, click go to resource, click Authoring Monitor. Okay, come to manage, click new linked service. To which service we need to connect? Blob. Okay, search for blob storage. Click continue. This is what ls underscore linked service for Azure Blob storage. This is my store one. Okay, you can say store. This is just a store. Okay, account key through Azure integration runtime. By using account key, I'm going to identify my account through the subscription. Storage account name is Blob Store. Okay, storage account name is Blob Store. Okay, clear, friends. Next, test the connection. Connection is successful. You can create it. Okay. Next, click new. So let's click on blob storage. Click continue. This is a ls underscore Azure blob storage. Okay, linked service of blob storage. This is basically for store. Azure integration runtime key subscription is this, and storage account name is store to. Okay, this is what I'm connected. Let's test the connection. Connection successfully connected. Okay, fine. Now come to Author tab. Let's create a pipeline directly. Okay. Install copy behavior. Now go to move and transform, bring the copy data activity. In this copy data activity, I need a source data set. See, you have not created. I want a sync data set. You have not created. Okay. Let's click new source data set. So select what is your source blob storage. Click continue. So CSV files we have. Just click continue. This is basically DS for Azure blob storage. This is basically for store. Use the link. So which connection we need to use? Store or store to? Which connection we need to use?
Store.
Store.
First was header, browse it. Just to select this root folder because we want to copy all the internal structure as it is. That's why just to select root folder, that is Cloud Connect folder. Click OK. Now go to sync. Click new. What is your target? Blob storage. Click continue. CSV. I want to load as the CSV. This is I say data set for Azure blob storage. This is basically for store to. Use linked service store to. Okay, first was header, browse it. So see, this is my output folder. Okay, I connected to the store to. In this, I have a folder called output folder. In this folder, I want to load the source structure as it is. Okay, click OK. Now, by default, we know if you go to settings, okay, you come here, see degree, not degree of populism. Sorry, it's sync side only. It's sync side only. We have a copy behavior. Okay, in copy behavior, you see. By default, even if you select a none, it will go as a preserved hierarchy. Preserved hierarchy means select a preserved hierarchy. This is the default one. Okay, this is the default one. You need to say CSV first dot as is. I want to load it as an extension as a dot CSV. When you are loading the CSV files in destination, I want to load them as a dot CSV. So dot CSV. Preserved hierarchy. Preserved hierarchy means what? We discussed as is. I want to load the data. Okay, if you want in the slides, let me show you in the slides. See here. So preserved hierarchy means, see, preserved hierarchy as is it is going to do. But recursive equal to true or false. Let's see that. See, recursive is true or false. Where we can say recursive. See, you don't have recursive. Come to source. We have a sourced recursively. You have a source recursively. Recursively go and fetch all the data from the source and load at sync side as a preserved hierarchy. Okay. See, source side you can say recursively, sync side you can see the preserved hierarchy. Now what it means? So this is what will happen. From folder 1 and subfolder, it will take as it is, it will load it into my target. Let's see whether it is doing or not. So can I debug now? Yes, we can debug. Let's click debug. So what it is saying? Data set DS store location is a folder. The wildcard file name is required for copy data 1. Okay, so source, come to source side, say wildcard file path, just put star because ultimately we are going to load all the data. Okay, just that's why star, click debug. The copy data is successful. Go to storage account 2, refresh this. See results.csv, results1.csv, go to BI data folder, you have customer.csv. It has loaded as is. It has loaded as is. You understood this? It has loaded as is. Everybody understood this?
Yes, Malaya.
Malaya,
one doubt.
if we remove recursive means what will happen?
what will happen? Only results.csv, results1.csv will come. That I will show you one by one. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's
Malaya, one
delete.
doubt here.
Tell me. Tell me.
Earlier we were creating only one storage account for creating input and also for creating output. But now we have created two storage accounts, one for input and one for output. What is the difference between these two?
Nothing, just to show you that you can store data into a same storage or different storage. There is no difference. Only difference is you are loading into a different storage. That's all. There won't be any other difference. Okay. So if you are going to the same storage, you are going to the single link itself. Fine. Now, what I will do, I'll just delete this entire folder. Now, what happens? This folder also will be created by your Azure Data Factory. Okay. Now, this time I want to go in a different way. Okay. Even if you just debug now, so that entire thing will happen. Oh shit, why it is failed? Okay, the reason for failure that I wanted to show you, we deleted the output container. What will happen when you delete output container is, output container will not delete immediately. In backend, still it is in a process of deleting. One side with same name container is deleting, and another side with same name you are trying to create the container. There is a conflict. Okay, why you have deleted, why you are creating immediately. So there is a conflict. That's why what happens is it will fail. But if you run once again, it will not fail. Because by now it might have deleted completely in backend. It will create the folder, that container. See, it is successful. Now come here, refresh this. Container is created. Go inside this. Same structure we have. Recursive. That's why subfolder also picked. And without recursive, just working with the main files. And now come back. Let's delete this again. Let's wait for some time. Anyhow, we will discuss about other copy behaviors. Okay, come to copy behavior. Okay, recursive equal to true, because I want to finish first with this one. Recursive equal to true only. Flatten hierarchy I will take. Flatten hierarchy means what will happen? File 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, everything it will bring it under Cloud Pandit output container. Okay, let's talk about that.
Malaya, one question. If our source dataset is pointing to a container, first case, and second case, our source dataset is pointing to folder, and when we select recursive behavior, so in the first case, when it is pointing to container, it will search for the whole container, and when it is in the second case, when it is pointing to folder, recursive means it will again search from the container level, or within that folder it will do the recursion.
Folder you have created, from that particular folder, all the subfolders it will search.
Okay, not from the container.
Not from the container.
Okay.
Okay. This is a source. This is a sink. Now sink side I have done flatten hierarchy, meaning now you see this is a true. Recursive is true. Flatten hierarchy meaning file 1, file 2, file 3 which you have in a subfolder also will come outside, and all these file names will be renamed. Okay. Let's debug now. So before debug, you see I don't have any container at the blob store 2. Okay, let's debug it. Okay, this is successful. Come here, refresh this. Okay, inside this you'll have 3 files with the different names. You see 3 files with the different names. Understood? Clear, friends? Clear to all of you?
This naming we cannot
Yeah, we
redefine,
cannot,
right?
we cannot control this.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Let's come back. Let's delete this. Now, those 3 files data, I want to merge it into a single file. Then what you need to do? You need to say merge files. You need to say merge files. Then what it will do? It is going to consider as it will just add all those 3 files and it will generate the single file. What is that single file name? If you want to give and control it, you can control it. Open this target data set. Okay, see, first time I'm not giving the file name. File name you need to give here, but I'm not giving the file name here in our target data set. Okay, sync data set, store to. I'm not giving the file name. That's why it will create its own file. Okay, let's go to copy activity. Let's debug now. So here I don't have any content. Okay, but now I debugged it. So it is going to create a new container. Yes, it is succeeded. Come here, refresh this. See, Cloud Pandit output. Inside this, we'll have single file, which is a open this file to see all the data. 36 records will have because each file is having 12, right? Click preview data. So numbering is not there, but do one thing, just download this file. Check it. Do we have 36 records or not? You see, you have 36 or not? Yes. Why it is 37? Because one is header. One is header. You can see one is header. Okay. But basically it merged those three files, which has each file is having 12 records. 30.
Malaya, what if the structure of the file is not same? Then in that case also it will still merge it, all the structure.
So basically you need to keep the all files in the same structure. If we have a files with a different structure, what will happen? I did not check. We will check now. Okay. So we will do that.
What if header names are different then?
Yes, header names are different, our schema is different, everything will come under the same category. Those we will discuss at the end. Okay, once I finish this. Basically in Spark, what will happen? So that will be treated as a, it will consider the schema which has more number of records. Example, you have credit card file which has a 4 columns and you have 100 records. You have employee data which is having a 50 records. So which file is having more records? Credit card file is having more records. So credit card schema it will consider in Spark. But in data factory, how it will behave, we will discuss. Okay. For now, I just finished these three. Okay, these three I finished. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Recursive is false, and we will talk about this. Then we will come back to the your scenarios with a different schema. Okay. Fine. Now come here, see my output. Oh shit, I just deleted the files. Let me just delete this container itself. Okay, let's come back to the source. Only thing that you need to do is source side, you just disable this recursively. Come to sync. Okay, merge files. Okay, just you want to go with one by one. Again, let's go. Okay, preserved hierarchy. Okay, I want to say preserved hierarchy. Let's click debug. Preserved hierarchy means what? Only you see, preserved hierarchy means top 2 files only it will take. It will not consider the subfolder files. Okay, we'll see. Let's debug once again if it is failed. This is failed because of that container issue. As I discussed, right? Container is still deleting, that's why it got failed. Just it is succeeded. Okay, come here, refresh this. This is the container, go inside this container. So results.csv, results1.csv we have, but you don't have a files like cust1.csv, right? So that cust1.csv file is not here. You understood this? Everybody understood this, right? Fine. Let's delete only these two. Okay, let me keep this container name as this, because if the container is not there, again it will fail. Come here, let's change the structure to the flatten hierarchy. Flatten hierarchy means this is also going to take file 1, file 2, but it will regenerate the new names. Okay, it will generate the new names for file 1 and file 2. See that? So it will succeed this time, it will not fail. This container we have not deleted. Okay, container succeeded. Come here, refresh these files. You see auto generated files. Both files are same size. The reason is both file is having same content. Okay, let's delete these two files also. Come here, source side. Come here, sync side. Let's go with the merge files. Okay, Let's debug. What is merge file? Can you see? What is merge file? Merge file means merge file recursive is false, meaning only file 1 and file 2 it is going to add it. It is going to merge instead of merging the subfolder files. Okay, let's see. Job is queued. Okay, it is succeeded. Come here. Let's refresh this. We have a single file. This time you will have a 12 plus 12, 24 records. Okay, let's download this to see how many you have. Only 24. I can see. Okay, only 24 records we have. First one is header. If you remove headers, 25 minus 1, you will have a only 24. Okay, so I hope these things are clear. Now let's talk about if you have a different schema files at source, and what will happen. Different schema means, let's say you have different number of columns or whatever it can be. Okay, so results.csv, one results.csv I'll remove. I'll just upload cust2.csv. Or let's talk about employee.csv. So let's see what employee.csv is having. See, employee.csv is having 5 columns: employee ID, employee name, destination, contact number, and location. Total, you have a 5 columns here. Okay, let's go to results1.csv. Here you have a only 4 columns. Okay, let's go inside. Yeah, anyhow, let it be. It can be anything, right? So that's okay. Now first let's talk about same thing. Recursive is false. Okay, and sync is merge files. Sync is merge files means what should happen? It is false merge files. File 1 and file 2 I need to merge, but my file 1 and file 2 is having same schema or different schema. These two files are having same schema, different schema.
Different
schema. Okay, different schema that we have seen. Now come to output. I just deleted the files which we have here. Now let's run our succeeded. Come here, refresh this, click on this, click edit. Here itself we can able to understand. So which schema it has considered? Which schema? So exactly it is behaving like your Spark, as I mentioned. Which file is having more number of columns, more number of records? That particular schema it is considering. See, this credit data is having more number of records, so that's why credit file schema it is considering. But we have a employee details. Okay, so it is not considering. See, employee, first employee details is here, second, third employee details are here, but employee location is skipping because it is not considering this schema, and there is a mismatch. These kind of scenarios will not come in real time, but yes, when you are learning, these all questions you will get. Okay, this is normal. You should get all these questions. Okay, fine. Now, one thing I wanted to do, let's test it. Whatever I said, is it really true or not? How you will come to know? In results1.csv, I'll just keep a only one record. I'll just keep a one record. Okay, and in my employee.csv, I have a 3 records. Now employee file is having more records. Now will it create a new file with the employee schema or not? We will see. Let's delete this. Now this is a data factory. So this is source side. I hope you understood this, what I'm trying to tell you. This results.csv file is having one file, one record. Employee.csv is having a 3 records. Okay. Now come to pipeline. Just click debug pipeline. In progress, done. Come here, refresh this. Let's click on this. Let's click edit. Now see which schema it is considering. It is still considering the credit ID, credit type, credit score, schema. How it is behaving? Let's say, okay, I think it is behaving in a different way, I guess. Let me just delete this file. Okay, upload this file again. So, old file is employee.cs. Okay. Now, new data that I am uploading is results.cs. Maybe it is going to consider the old file which is having, or what schema it is considering, which results.csv, let it be. Okay. But results.csv file which is uploaded recently, this is the old schema. Employee.csv is the old schema. Okay. You understood what I have done? So whatever we thought, that was not working. So it's not deciding the schema based on number of records. So it is considering the schema in a different ways. I'm just trying what way it is considering the schema. Let's debug 1 second to understand that. Okay, come here, refresh this, click on this, click edit. Yes. Now can you tell me based on what it is considering the schema?
Based on the order
Based
of
on
the
the
file.
old file.
Old file, very
No,
good.
based on the old file.
Based on the first schema, whatever schema you have defined at the beginning, that particular schema only it is going to keep it in mind. So whatever, even if the schema is changed, new files came, those schema it will not consider. It will consider only the old schema. Okay. I hope everybody is clear on this.
So Malay, if two files are uploaded at the same time, both of the different schema. So whichever file is appearing first in that blob, it will take the schema of that, is it?
Right. Yes, yes. Same thing. Okay. Now I want to do it in a reverse way. Let's delete this file. Okay. Now you try to understand one thing. Employee.csv, results.csv, BI data, this customer.csv. Out of these three files, which file is the old file, first uploaded file out of these three?
The one inside BI data file.
Very good. Customer.csv is the one which we have uploaded very first. Okay. See at 8.9. These files came recently at 8.29, 8.33. Okay. Now if I go and enable the recursive, what schema it should consider as per our analysis? What schema it should consider?
Subfolder file.
Cust.cs.
Correct, Abhishek Kiran. Yes. So it is going to consider the subfolder file, that is credit card. Okay. Credit card related schema it is going to consider. Okay, let's see. Succeeded. Now come here, refresh this. Let's go inside this. Click edit. But what schema it is considering?
Employee data only it is considering.
Okay. So meaning in root level, whatever schema you have, that schema only it is going to consider. So subfolder schema it is going to ignore. You understood from this?
Malay, is it because it will start processing the files from the container level and then it goes to the subfolders?
Yes.
That's why whichever it picks in the container level.
You are right. So first it is going to process data which is there in the root level. So because of that, it is going to consider the root folder file schema. Okay, not a subfolder file schema. So subfolder file schema it is going to ignore. Clear, Naveen? Any questions, friends? Anybody have
Yes,
any
Malay.
questions? Okay, then if no questions, that's all for today. Thank you.